Please rise in body or spirit. Join me in our opening hymn, Shall We Gather at the River? Number 1046 in your teal hymnal, and of course the words are always on the screen. Be seated.
Good morning, and welcome to the River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, or ERUUF, as we like to say. I'm Reverend Jacqueline Brett, the lead minister here, and whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever your race, your gender identity, whomever you love, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, we welcome you here to co-create beloved community with us. If you are visiting with us today, whether here in this room or online, we invite you to rise in body or spirit if you're here in the room, or to put a word in the chat box so that we might give you an ERUUF welcome. I see some of you here in this room. Thank you all for choosing to spend your Sunday morning with us. If you have children with us, with you today, all of the children are actually remaining in the service for this entire service this morning, because it's a multi-generational service in celebration of our water communion or our water service that we do every year at this time to celebrate our ingathering. After this service, though, if you're an adult, we have our Inquirers class for visitors and newcomers, and that takes place in the building next door. And you are welcome, even if you're not a visitor or newcomer, to join that class this Sunday. One of the important things happening here that is good for everyone to know is that starting next week, September 3rd, we are now moving to 2 Sunday services. As we used to do in the before times, we're going back to 2 Sunday services. So the first service will be at 9 a.m. in this room. It is a contemplative service. We'll actually begin gathering at 10 of 9 for quiet centering, for those of you who want that. And then the second service will begin at 11 a.m. It'll be a livelier service. That will be the service where we have religious exploration classes for our children who are preschoolers up to 5th grade. There will be nursery care for both services. So just so you know all of that, and if you want any additional information, you can find it in e-news or on our website under news, and you'll find more information about those services. Now would be a great time to turn off or on into vibrate mode any devices you might have with you. And so we do this ingathering service once a year, usually around the last week of August, sometimes the first week of September, to celebrate us coming back together after being away all summer. And so today we're going to begin with a ritual that is done in cultures around the world, and that is the pouring of libations, as we call in our ancestors. And we will pour the libations of water today. And so we pour libations first for the people who originally were the original caretakers of this land, who were the original inhabitants of this land. The Ino, the Sissipaha, the Saponi, Shikori, and Lumbee people, and even people whose names we may never know. We pour first for them. Ashe. We pour next for our own ancestors, for the people who loved us here into this moment, people who we might have blood relation to, or people who we simply claim as our ancestors. We invite them with intention to join us here today. And so we pour for our own ancestors. Ashe. And finally, we pour for the ancestors of this fellowship, those people who joined together to bring this fellowship into being from its first start, as well as the people who came afterwards, who were committed to the existence of this fellowship, wanting to see it thrive and wanting to see it flourish. And as a result, we all get to be here in community on this day. We pour for the ancestors of the Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Ashe. And so let us now center ourselves. Worship.
So cannot divert the river from the riverbed. We say that everything is moving, and we are part of this motion. Is it on? Hello?
Come closer, Alice.
Sorry. I'll start over. We say that you cannot divert the river from the riverbed. We say that everything is moving, and we are part of this motion, that the soil is moving, that the water is moving. We say that the earth draws water to her from the clouds. We say the rainfall parts on each side of the mountain, like the parting of our hair, and that the shape of the mountain tells where the water has passed. We say this water washes the soil from the hillsides, that the rivers carry sediment, that rain, when it splashes, carries small particles, that the soil itself flows with water and streams underground.
We say that water is taken up into the roots of plants, into stems, that it washes down hills into rivers, that these rivers flow to the sea, that from the sea and the sunlight, the water rises to the sky. This water is carried into clouds and comes back as rain, comes back as fog, comes back as dew, as wetness in the air. We say everything comes back. You cannot divert the river from the riverbed. We say every act has its consequences. There are limits, we say, on what can be done, and everything moves. We are all part of this motion. We say, and the way of the river is sacred, and this grove of trees is sacred, and we ourselves, we tell you, are sacred.
Between rocking the boat and sitting down, between stirring things up and peaceably going along, we find ourselves here in community, each called from many different journeys, many different life paths onto this river road. Some are here because the rocking of the boat has been too much tumult, too much uncertainty, too much pain. Some are here with questions about where the boat is going, how best to steer it, and where this journey ends. Others are here as lovers of the journey, lovers of life itself, here in front, beside, and behind. Each a passenger, each a captain, doing the best we can. Rest here in your boat with me, the river calls. Listen to how I flow, the sound of life coursing all around you. Let the current hold you. Let the current guide you. The river that gently flows through your soul whispers, "Come, let us worship."
Be still with me and enter into the crescent fold of my arm as I gather you to this time and space. Wind your thoughts like a river toward the center of who we are. This morning as one body and out among others in the world. Be still with me and enter into this celebration of resilience and resurrection. For we are vessels eternally rising out of water, alive, with a purpose and strength unknown to us. Be still with me and enter quietly into this place of unbound love and gratitude.
And so we gather from the ebb and flow of our lives, thirsty for connection to ourselves, thirsty for connection to others, thirsty for connection to the larger life. As we light our chalice, may all who gather here be filled with joy and hope. filled with compassion and love. Here may we be filled so that we may pour ourselves out into the world. Now, let us sing together. Wendy will lead us.
Or spirit. Join me in singing There's a River Flowing in My Soul, number 1007 in your teal hymnal and on the screen. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. Please greet your neighbor.
Okay, this is me. Find where I've hidden the stool today. Good morning, good morning. Yes, somebody already knows what to do. Come on down. No, you're fine. Come on down. Come on down. You're welcome. All of our smallest and mediumest and largest people, come on down for our time for all ages. I see some people. I see some people over there. I see some people over there. I see some people who are still cozy in their pews, and that's okay too. I too like to stay cozy in the pew some days. Well, not around here. Not around here. But I get it. I get it. All right. So, what do you see a whole bunch of on this table? Water. Water, yes. We have a big ceremony at the beginning of every year as we're coming back, and we're coming back together as the summer is wrapping up, where we all bring water, and we combine our water, and we combine our water from all of the different places we've been and all of the different places we are. And like that water, it comes from these really long journeys that we go on all year long and sometimes all summer long. And so today, I've got a little story for you about a journey of a kid over the course of a year and a metaphor of water in that journey. Metaphor is kind of like something that seems like a thing, but isn't actually the thing. So I think you'll figure it out here in a second. And it's called the river. Rowan sat beneath his favorite tree, looking out at the hills, which encircled his home like a hug. Rowan loved everything about this place, but most of all, he loved the river. Sometimes the river could be quiet and calm, just like Rowan. Sometimes the river could be light and playful, just like Rowan. And sometimes the river roared past, wild and angry, just like Rowan. How many people here have been wild and angry? Sometimes rivers get that way. But neither of them stayed angry for very long. Uh-oh, this is the very sad page. Are you ready? It's very sad. One year, pay attention, we got a very sad page. And it's very important to the story, too. One year, there was a very cruel winter. Rowan felt as cold and alone as the moon. What happened? What do you think happened?
He lost his pup.
He lost his puppy.
Because it looks like his pup was missing at the third one.
Yeah. How many people?
Maybe just the pup passed away or something.
Maybe he passed away, yeah. Has anybody ever had a puppy go missing or die? It can be very sad. I see a lot of adults out there too.
Maybe a puppy can
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a very sad thing. And you see, he looks very sad. Wind whipped past, snow fell in flurries, and ever so slowly, the river began to freeze. Rivers freeze in the winter, right?
Yeah.
Well, some rivers. In North Carolina, it stays a little warm.
The water comes bye-bye.
Oh, the water goes bye-bye when the ice comes? Yeah, it's kind of in a different shape, so it's a lot harder.
The puppy had to have died, because if the puppy was still alive, then how would it live? Because it would have been really frosty and it could have died.
It would be much too cold. I agree. Yeah. So anyway, yes. Rowan's parents tried to cheer him up with kind words and hugs, and it almost worked, but not enough to thaw the frozen river, even though they tried to make him happier. Rowan tried to think of happier times, but it all just felt so hard. Do you see what's in the clouds? Rowan and the puppy, yeah. Yeah. He's remembering it, yeah. And so the time passed. Spring blustered in, flowers popped up in the fields, but still the river stayed frozen. Do rivers usually stay frozen when it's not cold? No. This sounds like it might not quite be a normal river. This sounds like a storybook river, but a very important storybook river. Because, is Rowan still sad? Yep. Summer blossomed and birds sang in the clear blue skies, but still the river stayed frozen. Was Rowan still sad? Yeah. And then, just as autumn was approaching, autumn, what a long time, and the leaves were beginning to curl, something remarkable happened. Rowan heard a rustling in the undergrowth. That's like the leaves and the branches.
It's gonna come. The puppy's gonna come.
Maybe. Let's see. An injured bird, was tangled up in the branches. Not the puppy, but an injured bird. A good possibility, though. Softly, gently, Rowan picked the bird up and hurried home. He fed the bird and cared for its wounds. I would say don't try this at home without some help. But it is still a very nice thing to do, to take care of other creatures. The next day, the bird seemed a little bit better. Rowan smiled. And outside on the... What?
What happened to the bug?
The bug? The bird? Oh, we're about to find out. Because it got a little bit better. And outside on the frozen river, what do you think happened? Because Rowan smiled.
The river unfroze.
You can read. The river unfroze. Y'all getting it. Y'all on top of it. Tiny droplets of water appeared. By the end of the week, the bird was looking a lot better. Rowan grinned and his eyes lit up, and beneath the ice, the river began to stir, began to flow. It wasn't long before Rowan took the bird outside to set it free. How do you think that bird's doing? It looks like it's doing pretty good. Carefully, he opened the box, and in a flurry of excitement, the bird flew out. Rowan laughed as the bird soared into the sky, and whole chunks of ice broke free on the river. The bird circled around and landed on a nearby branch. Rowan looked at the bird. The bird looked at Rowan. Rowan took a step. The bird took a hop. Boing. Rowan walked on, and the bird flew alongside. Rowan ran, and the bird kept up, following wherever he went. Sounds like the bird's doing okay. How do you think Rowan's doing?
Great.
Yeah, he seems like he's in a better mood. Rowan didn't even notice as the final pieces of ice melted and the warm river flowed freely once more. Yeah. Atlas. I don't know why that's there. That's such a good question. Over the years, Rowan came to realize that he could be just like the river. Happy and light. Can you be happy and light?
Yeah.
I can be happy and light. Slow and sad. Are there times when you're slow and sad?
Yes.
Are there times when you're slow and sad? Yeah. Wild and angry. We already covered that one. And everything in between. He's getting older. But one thing was certain. The river was always changing, just like Rowan. And what's up there in the clouds?
The dog.
Dog and the bird.
And the bird.
Yeah. Remembering them. So just like us, Rowan went on a journey. And we all get to go on these journeys. And sometimes there's a lot of joy and happiness in these journeys. Sometimes there's some challenge and some sadness. And that's okay too, but that's part of what we do when we bring water here every year, is we bring water from our journeys.
I wish the puppy could come here.
I wish the puppy could come back too. And that's a good wish to make. Can't happen, but it's a good wish. And now, I invite you to go back and join your families as we get ready for more music and more ritual and more time together.
We weave the fabric of beloved community here through our time, our talent, and even our treasure, and all of it to the purpose of realizing our mission, our vision, and our work in the world. And so as the greeters come forward, if you do not have a cash or check with you, there's a card in your pew rack with a QR code on it. You can point your device at that card, and it will lead you to give and make your contribution that way. And the Eno River Singers will offer the offertory.
We give thanks for all of the many gifts that support our beloved community. Please join us now in a responsive reading. The words will appear on the screen. And please join Reverend Jim in saying the words that are in italics. We are people of earth and air, fire and water. We carry each of these elements within our bones, within our breath.
They are in the exchange. Almost. Give us one moment. Like water, sometimes the slides flow in different directions. I will tell you the words, and if you would respond back to me. They are in the exchange, between each cell. They are in our blood, and our tears. In the water that held us, before our birth.
It is a mystery. how all these things came to be knit together into our muscles, our minds, and our hearts.
We arrive here this morning from the many places we have traveled. We arrive here this morning across great distances of time, of miles of thoughts, of feelings.
We have walked by reservoirs of plenty. We have dreamed by waters of peace. We have meditated on the shores of memory. We have gathered on the banks of hope.
We are happy to gather once more in our spiritual home. We are the people of Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Of Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship.
The river at the heart of this community is a river of love and caring, a river of challenge and growth.
Here in this beloved place, we gather together to sing and pray. To laugh, listen, and share. Now all of us together, so that our lives might be restored.
So that our lives might be restored.
Our love renewed.
Our love renewed.
And our resolve strengthened.
And our resolve strengthened.
For our work in the world.
For our work in the world.
And now, not repeating, but we will take a moment of holding. We hold in our hearts today all those who have had recent experiences of joy and elation, possibility and play, comfort and tranquility. For those who have made choices that allow them to smile. For those who are feeling relief at this time due to the end of a challenge. I see us enjoying these moments all around us, and it brings a sense of hope, knowing that that joy, that care, that liveliness will not and must not go away, regardless of what our journeys may bring. May we all take a moment to hold those bubbling, effervescent possibilities with us as we engage this world. And two, may we hold the challenges in our world, the sorrows and fears of our community, the personal pains. Among the difficulties in our community, today I hold Susan Spitzer, who after some recent hospital visits is preparing for a challenging surgery. We send blessings her way for health and wisdom. We also hold the sorrow in the world around us, knowing that it is also part of our lives and our journeys. News of recent violence in another state. And among those sorrows and fears is the recent passing of multiple pieces of anti-trans legislation, specifically focused on youth. May we direct compassion and support towards individuals and families affected by those laws and that recent violence, and work to make action in ways that we can support larger change in North Carolina and our country. For these joys and sorrows, both of our community and in the broader, and those joys and sorrows left unsaid, we hold space in our heart. Blessed be.
the children that's coming through. God's gonna trouble the water. I say, wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. See those children dressed in black. God's gonna trouble the water. Well, they came a long way and they ain't turning back. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Why don't you wade in the water, children? Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the
Wendy, can I just pull the stand that we fixed? Isn't it so awesome to have our choirs back, both of them? So as has already been said, on this Sunday, we celebrate our coming together as individuals after having been away. For some of us, it's been only a few weeks or maybe a month or so. And for others of us, this whole new experience is like, what? But we're glad you're all here with us. We arrive here to this communal gathering in with intention, the youngest to the eldest of us, in sacred time and sacred place, with water held in ritual and metaphor of our joining together as beloved community. Water itself coming together as individual droplets to form puddles and rivulets, streams, creeks, rivers, and tributaries into lakes, seas, and oceans. Water is a part of our interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. What we pour into the ground ends up in our water, and what we put into the sky ends up in our water. We are left with only 0.5% of all the water on earth available to us as fresh water. Many people on earth, including in our own country, lack ready access to clean water or to water at all. It is estimated that by 2025, 2/3 of the world's population will be facing water shortages. Water is precious. We Unitarian Universalists began celebrating water in ritual in 1980 when two UU women, Carolyn McDade and Lucille Shuck Longview, were asked to create a ritual in celebration of women. And they decided to create a new ritual that spoke to our connectedness to one another, to the totality of life, and to our place on this planet. They decided upon water as a new inclusive symbol. They wrote, "Water is more than simply a metaphor. It is elemental and primary, calling forth feelings of awe and reverence." Acknowledging that the ocean is considered by many to be the place from which all life on our planet came, it is the womb of life, and that amniotic waters surround each of us prenatally, we realize that this service, this ritual, was for us a new story of creation. And so we chose water as our symbol of empowerment. At that time, they invited 8 different women, each coming from distant places, to bring water, which was poured into a communal bowl. As the ritual is continued, said Carolyn McDade, water deepens in meaning for us, just as water deepens during its long and winding journey to the sea. And so the Unitarian Universalist water ritual began. And as rituals usually do, it has evolved over time and place to become a ritual of ingathering during late August or early September for many UU congregations around the country, celebrating the return back into community. As we begin our water ritual today, I invite us to consider the metaphor of how we as individuals join together, and also to consider the reverence of water, acknowledging its preciousness to our planet, to our interdependent web of existence. In her poem, Blessing the Boats, the poet Lucille Clifton, who created many poems about water, wrote, "May the tide that is entering even now the lip of our understanding carry you out beyond the face of fear. May you kiss the wind, then turn from it, certain that it will love your back. May you open your eyes to water, water waving forever, and may you, in your innocence, sail through this to that." So now we shall begin our water ritual. And here's how we'll do this. Wendy will lead us in song. I've been teasing her and saying her song marathon, her singing marathon, our singing marathon. And what we're going to do is come forward to place water we may have with us. And if you did not bring water, that's okay. We have water here. And you will place the water into the large vessel that's on each of these tables. And we're going to start so that we don't bottleneck. We'll start from this side here. From the back rows, we'll come down the side aisle and then go up the center aisle. So we'll start here. And then once this side is done, we'll go here and here and here. And so, Wendy, let us begin.
We are going to begin by singing hymn 1042 in your teal hymnal, Rivers of Babylon. Oh, and please, okay. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, and there we wept when we remember Zion. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, and there we wept when we remember Zion, where the wicked carried us away in captivity, required of us a song. How can we sing King Alpha's song is Turn the World Around, number 1074, the final hymn in the teal hymnal. And the words are on the screen. We come from the fire, living in the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water, go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain, go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Whoa, so is life. Whoa, so is life. Oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Whoa, so is life a patewa. So is life. Whoa, so is life a patewa. So is life. Water make the river, river wash the mountain, fire make the sunlight, turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain, spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the spirit, truly of the spirit, only can the spirit turn the world around. Whoa, so is life a patewa. So is life. Whoa, so is life a patewa. So is life. Oh, so is life a patewa. So is life. Whoa, so is life a patewa. So is life. And our next hymn is number 100. Is it 100? 107? I've got Peace Like a River, hymn 100 in the gray hymnal. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like
So here is water from the west, the north, the south, and the east, from the sky and from the earth.
Water from lakes and streams, reservoirs of fresh waters that quench our thirst. Water that is a part of the great oceans and the seas that circle the globe, teeming with life, the source of all life.
We pour water in this place of meeting and sharing. In this water, there is new water formed in the atmosphere daily, and there is old water, water as old as the earth, water from which life has evolved over eons.
This is the stream of life from which all life flows. All people are connected by this stream, for it runs through our veins and courses through the stems and leaves of plants.
It is the symbol of the cleansing power of forgiveness and the faithful promise of healing love. It is the symbol and the reality of the oneness that unites humankind and all life.
And so may our separate waters join into one sacred stream as we add our lives into the stream of living souls who live out love, work for justice, and hunger for peace. At the close of our final hymn, we invite those of you who are able to join all of us on the plaza as we return the water this year back to the earth.
Please rise and body your spirit and join me in singing Blue Boat Home, number 1064 in your teal hymnal, and the lyrics are also on the screen. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, greening over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making a way by the light of the heavens in a beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks in the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. I believe we're all to head toward the plaza.